Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Good morning to you all. Happy Wednesday. Here we are. Here we are. Very interesting energy this week, at least from my perspective and with what Spirit's showing me and what I'm seeing in other people. I'm give you all a minute to just kind of pop on here, and then I'll ask you a couple questions. I just got a couple questions about anybody feeling that heavy emotion, who's going through or just processing, or perhaps things are just coming to the surface for you and you're just kind of feeling things. And as humans, we do struggle with that sometimes, with allowing ourselves to process, allowing ourselves to feel that, allowing ourselves to just kind of sit in that and allow it to move through. And I think that's really important. I feel that sometimes we lean too much into false positivity, and we try to not feel and just kind of surround ourselves in a bit of a phony energy. And what Spirit's saying is, just allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to have that moving through motion, and allowing ourselves to say, you know what, yeah, that really did suck. Or it really does suck, and allowing ourselves to to heal that a little bit, because we can't heal what we're not processing and we're not feeling and we're not acknowledging. Now, you know sitting in it and not trying to move forward is a very different thing. But I talked on Monday about the equinox and the eclipses and some heavy emotional energy and some triggered tension, and just this feeling of heaviness in the air. And that is being called forward to be healed. There's nothing wrong with you. And that's one thing that kept coming up with my clients so far this week, is there's something wrong with me. I'm feeling all this stuff, and I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're being asked to feel it. You're being asked to move forward. You're being asked to move through it. You're being asked to take a look at it. You're being asked to take a look at, what am I learning here? Or what were the what has the learning process been for me in through all that. And then the next step is taking some action with, with giving yourself permission, whether it be with forgiveness, or whether it be just, sometimes it's just acknowledgement. That was really hard. Or that, that kind of knocked the wind out of me. And I think sometimes we get too caught up in not being able to feel and acknowledge, because the big old S word, shame, that big old S word comes in with feeling ashamed that we learn the lesson that way, or we feel ashamed, or we feel embarrassed, or we don't want to, we don't want to have it move through it. So when it comes to that, and I've talked about this before, and I don't mean to repeat it, but Spirit's bringing it forward to me for a reason. Is, there's always that I was learning lessons. Yeah, I took the hard way. I took the long way, but I was learning lessons. Number two, I was doing the best that I could from where I was standing. That version of me was doing the best that I could to work through a lot of that. And it also has to do with a lot of programming, a lot of things that we were taught, a lot of things that we went through, in how we were taught to handle it. And we're learning how to unravel that. Whatever age that you are, you're now learning how to unravel that, and you're learning how to process that, and you're learning that it's okay. And it's okay to work through it. It's okay to work through it and process that. Trust has been a big thing. With my mentoring students this week, there's been this huge shift in trust with them. And I was found myself just literally salivating with deliciousness energy for them, just so proud that they've been able to shift into this different alignment of trust, this different way of working with spirit, this different way of looking at their relationships with, with energy and with spirit and with themselves. And sometimes we also forget that we're working on a relationship with ourselves, and that is a big thing, right? When you think about the relationship that you have with yourself, where are you in that relationship? Because it does take a little bit of work to have a relationship with yourself too. And whatever words resonate with you, if you want to look at it, just myself, my higher self, my intuitive self, all of you, where are you with that relationship? And do you work with yourself to improve that relationship that you have with yourself? I talk to myself all the time. I do, I talk to myself all the time, and, whether it be, cheering for myself or giving myself some TLC or that reminder of, to myself, "You know what, Lana, you're doing the best that you can, and yeah, that was a gong show, but you went through the gong show the best that you could." Even in current situations, I'm very gentle with how I talk to myself, and, we do have that inner bully, we do have that, inner judge. Do you have your own judge and jury that you're always judging yourself? And sometimes I get it, it does stem from somewhere else, but taking a look at the root of that, is this an old story that I'm telling myself? Is this something that I have on replay in my mind because somebody else told me? And start working on your own truth and your own trust and your own way and your own energy. There's so much out there about do things that way, and this is how you heal, this is how you do that. What works for you? What's your way? What's your way of working through things? How are you getting to know, yourself a little bit better, or how are you getting to know into that deeper space? Try, for example, I'm just gonna give you an example. If I was to say to you, if I was to take off all the labels off you, mother, father, friend, whatever your occupation is, if I was to take off all those labels and say to you, who are you? How would you answer that? Just, take a moment and just kind of say, how would I answer that? Who am I? We and all the other labels that go with it that aren't necessarily occupations, our experiences, we wear them as labels. If I was to say take them all off and just have a look underneath all that, do you know what's under there? Do you know what's under there? And it's a big one, right? It's a big question. It sounds very simple, but it's a big question. But when you work through some of that, when you get to know that space, you're going to unravel this whole new understanding, this whole new hey, there I am. There I am without the labels. I have not looked at any of the questions yet, you guys, or the comments. I will go back. I can't read them and channel at the same time. And I literally do channel when I come on here. And I'm hoping next week that I've got some time to do a video on how to channel for yourself. I'm gonna work really hard on getting that in the next week or two, depending on what my off day is. But I really feel that within ourselves, when we kind of take all those layers off, have you spent some time with that person, with that soul? Had you really have that time? Do you really know who you are? And I think, there may be some surface, yeah, I know who I am. But have you worked on that relationship? Have you improved the relationship with yourself? It's so important as part of our healing journey, as part of our learning journey. And I think right now, over the rest of this week, probably into the weekend, excuse me, and probably in the next week, especially as we move closer and closer to the eclipse energy, because the eclipse energy is bringing us some amazing stuff, you guys. It's bringing us, lots of fresh starts, lots of new beginnings, and that includes jobs and relationships. That includes a lot of new energy. It also includes a lot of new lenses on how we're seeing things. But we have to be willing to pick that up, and we have to be willing to get to know ourselves with what does work for me, and how open am I to allowing, and how open am I to surrendering, and how open am I to improving the relationship I have with myself. We're really good with other people for the most part. If I was to say to you, how do you treat other people? You're most of you are going to answer, well, I treat other people really, really good. I give them time, I give them patience. But I think that the remainder of this week, we need to tap into how we're treating ourselves a little bit and taking a look. Oh, look at that. I just had a coffee delivered to me. Whoo, isn't that lovely? Thank you very much. So, yeah, spoiled this morning. Coffee delivered. It's in a Christmas cup, but it's still delivered. It's all good. It's a it's that Home Alone guy from Home Alone cup. Anyway, I got a little bit distracted with my coffee delivery. But we do tend to give other people so much of ourselves, and we tend to not really treat ourselves the same way. It's the same thing when we get to know people. We put all this work and all this effort into other relationships. But what Spirit said to me this morning was to talk a little bit about the relationship that you have with yourself, and just take a look in there. There's a beautiful part of you that you may or may not have met yet. And when you think about all the shedding of old stuff, when you think about all the healing work that you have done, I'm a big believer that there's always healing work to do. I don't think we ever wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I'm fully healed. I'm good." Like, I think because we do have other experiences, right? We do we keep having these experiences, we keep having to work through a lot of stuff. And the brain doesn't forget anything, and that's the other thing. We don't forget the events or the learning. So sometimes that does come up, and that's probably coming up for a lot of you this week just because of the releasing energy. The universe is saying, hey, you don't need to carry that anymore. Hey, have a look at have a look at your inner beauty and how amazing you truly are. And have a look at that spirit within you. Have a look in there and spend some time with them, with you, right? Spend some time with you. Spend some time really, what do you need today? Asking yourself that. What do you need today from Lana? What do you need today from Lana? What does Lana need from Lana? What do I really need today? I really needed someone to deliver coffee, and here it is. But seriously though, but seriously, we don't give ourselves a chance. We truly don't give ourselves a chance. We don't give ourselves a chance to try again, start again, where we beat ourselves up with, you didn't do that right, that was a mistake, or we shame ourselves. Ask yourself, what do I need today from me? What do I need? And is there a part of you that's trying to be reintroduced to you? Every morning, every day, throughout the day, that there's new versions of you that are coming forward, and just spending some time within that is an extremely powerful tool. And we don't teach that, and that kind of irks me. We don't teach that, in younger ages, or we don't teach that. That time with you, what do you need, and how can I help myself? It's a powerful, powerful place to sit in. And it also kind of gives us an opportunity when we reflect like that. It gives us an opportunity to really be able to move through it, to think about it, to feel it, to process it, rather than wait years later and say, oh, there's a layer of me that I didn't get to, right? But there's no better time to start than now. That is what Spirit talked about today. We are going to continue with the remainder of this week with a lot of heavy releasing, a lot of aha moments, a lot of, oh, that's where I need to work on. And what Spirit was saying was, it's okay. You don't have to shame yourself. You don't have to feel, not worthy. You don't have to feel embarrassed. You can sit and work through that, and we're all here to learn anyway. All right, Kayla. Oh my God, Lana, it bothers me too. When I was young, I knew I was an old soul because I would be in the classroom and at home asking my teacher and parents, when will we learn about energy emotions? I work with I haven't had a whole lot of time with my youth group over the winter, but any of the youth that I come into contact with, whether it be with the sporting events, or whether it just be kids that land in my path, that's one thing that I like to talk to them about energy and emotions, and about how their energy and how their emotions and how their healing and how their voice matters. Now, when you look back in time, I do firmly believe this, Kayla. I do feel that even though it may not have been a perfect world, I do feel that teachers and parents, for the most part, not everybody had this same experience, but for the most part, for many of us, those people were doing the best that they can with what they knew. And now we're changing that, and there's a little bit of resistance in that. There's a little bit of I know some people don't necessarily resonate with teaching that, and that's okay. But I do believe that we are making great shifts, in elementary schools here. I can speak on what I know. There is meditation in elementary school. There is energy awareness in elementary school. There are opportunities. More and more people are coming forward to learn about that and to be able to teach that. And I think that maybe in 25 years, people are going to look back and realize that things are very different then than they are now, and it's supposed to be that way. We are evolving, and we are learning, and we are growing as a collective, right? So people may look back on my videos in 25 years and say, what was that? And, we're doing things very different. We've learned things since Lana, or since this timeline was here. So I think that's really important too. Okay, I'm going to scroll up. I do have a few extra minutes this morning. Yay, because I love it so much when I have extra time. So I'm just going to scroll right back up to the top. It's good to see so many of you joining me this morning. Lots of heaviness and anxiety. I'm not sure what it is or where it's coming from. So Libby, I want to, thank you very much for posting that and wording it that way. I'm not sure where it's coming from. So I want to tap into that deliciousness question. Okay. So the first thing that I say to people when they don't know where things are coming from, just sit for a moment, if you can, in a quiet place, and just ask yourself this question. Is this heaviness, or is this feeling, or is this anxiety, or is this fear? Very simple. Ready? Mine or not mine? Okay. It's not mine. Okay. Not mine. I'm feeling it that it's not mine. I picked this up somewhere along the way. If you know where it came from, great. If you don't know where it came from, great. Okay. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind myself, okay, this isn't mine. I've picked this up, because we do pick up. We think of yourself as an antenna. What do I have here? So think of yourself as an antenna. As an antenna that comes right up here. Antenna, and this antenna is moving around. Oh, I'm going to pick up. I'm going to pick up this heaviness. I'm feeling it, and we do absorb it, and we do carry it. Okay. Now I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let go with love and light back to the universe. I don't want to send it back to the person if I know who it is. I don't like to return the sender. Here's your heaviness back, or here's your gong show. I don't. Or even when it comes to, I know it sounds funny, but even when it comes down to, let's say somebody deliberately does something verbally harmful or verbally abusive or out of alignment towards me, I don't reflect it back to them, because that's not who I am. I give it back to the universe with love. That whatever that person is going through, I wish them well. I send them healing if I know where it's coming from, and I will let the universe and their experiences, or karma, handle that. That's not up to me to get involved in. Okay. Now, so I'm going to ask the question again: mine or not mine? Oh, this is mine. This is my heaviness. This is my anxiety. Okay, this is mine. Do I know where it's coming from? No, I don't. I don't know where it's coming from. And I will sit in that no a little bit longer. I'll give my chance to really sit in the no. Okay. I'm going to sit in it. I'm going to sit in it. Oh, there it is. I come up with an answer. It's come from this fear, or it's come from this weight, or it's come from this. If I still get a no, I acknowledge it. Lana, you're feeling this way. And is there a reason to feel this way? Sometimes there is a reason for it. Yes, I'm feeling heavy because this, or I'm just feeling heavy. I think that with this whole false positivity, that we don't give our chance to feel anything and let it go. I'm not supposed to have any negative thoughts or heaviness feeling. Spiritual teachers are saying that, so I shouldn't. No, that's bull crap. I'm feeling this way. Let's peel off that layer now. If I truly don't know why I'm feeling, I'm going to acknowledge it, and I'm going to talk to myself. Okay, am I safe? Yes. Am I receiving any kind of message? No. This isn't my intuition. This is something that I'm feeling, and I acknowledge it. It can be something that may be very old that I can't even pinpoint why it's coming up to me. Then I give myself permission. I literally say, Lana, you don't need to carry that. And if you're a visual person, you can visualize, this is my anxiety, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm gonna be softer on myself. What do I need today? Maybe I just need to be softer on myself. Maybe I just need to breathe. And then I tap into a little bit of spiritual practices, and whatever works for you. I'm hardcore on that. Whatever works for you. If meditation doesn't work for you, then try something else. I'm gonna look at the clouds and count them. I'm just gonna go breathe. I'm just gonna stand barefoot. I'm gonna have a glass of water. I'm gonna put cold water on my face. It needs to resonate with you, and that is something that's huge. There is no wrong way, well, to, I guess I've got to be careful with that. If it feels good to you, that's your way, right? I wouldn't do anything toxic to help myself deal with something. I always go to something that's light, that's healing, and whatever is light and that's healing, that's what works for you. I have a client that what works for her is bouncing a ball. Bouncing a ball gets her out of anxiety. I'm just gonna bounce a ball, and that works for her. And that works for her. And when I encourage her to do that when she's struggling. When was the last time you bounced a ball? And that for whatever reason that moves her, right? So out of what she's feeling. I also really give myself some time to work through it without the judgment. We judge heaviness, we judge anxiety. You're not supposed to feel like that. You're supposed to be fuzzy bunny. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to be that. I acknowledge this is the space that I am right now, and I want to work through it. I want to work through it. I want to work through it. And I don't give up on myself with working through it. I test taste many different things to help me work through whatever it is that I'm feeling. I don't push it down. And and sometimes I'll simply take a crystal. I'm going to put the anxiety in the crystal, and I'm going to put the anxiety out in the forest and let the forest heal it. Right? Whatever works for you, but I try really hard not to hold it, because when we hold it, that's when it escalates. Libby, I really appreciate that question. I hope that my answer helped you there. And it's good to see so many of you. I see you all on. Thank you very much for coming in. Spring Hall, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you so much, Spring. I appreciate all your likes. I have a lot of shame, says Kayla. I have a lot of shame. Um, Kayla, talk to yourself with that shame. Talk to that shame part. Whatever part of you is feeling that shame, talk to it like you would talk to me. So, Kayla, if I was to come to you and say, Kayla, I have a lot of shame, what would you say to me? What would you say to me? Because we're so good at helping other people through their stuff. Do that to yourself, right? That really helps. PJ, here in Ontario, we have snow before the first day of spring. I love it. I love that Mother Nature gave us one more dusting of snow. I'm also really grateful that we had a gentle winter here in Ontario. It was quite gentle. Um, but I really stay in the beauty of in the magic of right now with that. It will be warm soon enough with the mosquitoes and the heat. So yeah, we do have a nice dusting of snow. And I love to see it. Travis, I'm having problems with anxiety. It snuffs out my regular vibrant energy, and I become someone different. It's ruining several of my relationships. Any advice on how to stay in that positive space? So, Travis, I feel like you're doing the best that you can. I feel like things like anxiety and heaviness are something that we all have, and I need to acknowledge it. I feel that yours is it may be a little bit of a bit louder, so people around you are more aware of it. But Travis, I really want to just I want to sit in this for a moment. What fear and just sit with it for a moment. What fear is attached, because this is how I'm seeing it. I wonder if I have a string. Yes, I do. So I'm seeing a string, and I'm seeing at the end of the string a fear attachment with people in relationships. I feel like the anxiety is attached to a fear of bringing people close. I feel like I can come in this close to you, but I can't come in this close to you energetically. So the fear that's attached to the anxiety, just sit with it for a minute and just ask yourself, what's at the end of my string, my anxiety string? What's at the end of it? If you know, then that is something that you can work on. If you don't know, I want you to simply say this to yourself. It's okay that I haven't figured that out yet. Because what I feel, Travis, is I really feel my shoulders are killing me with this heaviness of I really want to do better, but I don't know what's at the end of my string. And I want you to give yourself some TLC. I want you to that positive space that is so delicious. I want you to bring that into the anxiety. Because we sometimes we want to separate it, and we've got to kind of like love the anxiety, and I know that sounds weird, but when we kind of embrace all of who we are, and I'm working on it, we stop this negative. I have anxiety, and it's hard, and and because we're hard on ourselves with it. And I'll use a word that I don't use very often. We're disgusted with it, or we're shame, or we hate it. And then what happens is we're giving that part of us power. With that hard energy. I can't stand my anxiety, and it's ruining things. I want you to try and work on it this way. I'm learning how to untie the knot at the end of my string, at the end of the anxiety. I'm learning how to untangle that. And I'm learning to have better relationships. And I just want you to soften so that you can bring that positive space into the anxiety. Because what we're holding here is you're holding something that you're and I get it, it's heavy and it doesn't feel good. I understand that. But you're adding weight to it with shame and with hardship. So when you bring in, I need to figure out what's at the end of my string, and with a loving energy. Do you see how different that feels? It's not denying that you have something to work on. It's not shaming that you have something to work on. We all have something to work on, but it brings in a different energy on how you're going to work on it. You can't work on something when you're coming in at it with such resentment and hate, or angriness, acknowledging it, feeling it, but let's love my way through untangling this. I just have to be a little bit gentle on ourselves. And I think, what's in this bag? Oh, I know what's in that bag. It's for, I won't let the cat out of the bag yet. But um when you see how different that feels, I just feel that, Travis, you'll be able to work through and understand that when you bring that vibrant energy into helping you figure it out, rather than the hard energy. And this kind of fits right into what Spirit's been talking about, with a lot of things coming to the surface, and a new awareness on what we need to work on. I also feel that thought patterns tie here to you, Travis. I feel like I'm on a loop. I feel like I'm on a replay, and I feel like I've got to be able to, give myself a chance to replay, to play something else, to looking at it differently. I hope that helped you there, Travis. You are also welcome to add another comment if you have any questions on anything that I said. I'd be happy to answer it. Kayla, I was told growing up that if I made mistakes, I had to learn the hard way. And I still feel that shame. Sometimes, Kayla, we do learn our lessons in a different way. And and there's the shame in that, right? And so when that echoes into your head, if that comes up for you, I just want you to say, I have a different way of learning, and these are my lessons. Right? People often think in general they have all the answers and know what's best for us. And we are here having experiences that sometimes goes against the grid. And I chuckle because I'm chuckling at myself. Kayla, I have learned some hard lessons. I have touched the same hot fire several times. But but you see how I'm looking at it now? I'm chuckling at myself. Why? Because I loved my learning process even when it was tough. And sometimes we do have to add a little bit of that into it. And this is my way of learning. We all have different ways of learning. We all have, and people around us, naturally. I think sometimes it's natural to judge. We judge ourselves. Think about it. And people are learning. People are learning not to judge. And I remind myself of that with people, whether it be my present journey or my past journey. What are they learning? Well, they're learning not to judge. And I try not to feed that. So when you feel that shame, Kayla, of learning the hard way, number one, try adding just a little bit of humor. Yeah, sometimes I repeated some lessons, right? But that's my way of learning, and that's how I needed to learn it. That's how I needed to learn it at that time. I truly believe that. I believe that sometimes we need to learn it. Sometimes the lesson may be, being able to see things more clear. But that was my way of learning it in that timeline, right? Maroon, I feel like I caught a bit of courage after I pushed through my fear and anxiety these days. So feeling grateful for this. I'm very proud of you, Maruna. I know that you struggled with that. So well done, you. I also want to pick apart that for a moment because there's a few things in there. Um, Fear has been was given a microphone for many of us, right? Depending on our background and depending on the situation. In the physical world, has a big old loud microphone regarding fear. And what happens with us is we pick it up as truth. We pick it up as truth. Now, the fight or flight instinct sometimes is very valid. If I get a hard no with spirit, if I get that hard no, sit me back in my seat, I listen. But I listen without being fearful. I'm gonna heed that from you. And intuition feels very different than the headspace. If there is something collectively going on, I'm gonna pick a topic. I'm gonna pick the eclipse topic because a few people have pointed that out to me, that there's a lot of stuff going on social media about the eclipse bringing in more or less a doomsday. We're all going to fall apart in this eclipse. All right, so I hear that, I read that, then I'm going to sit with that. Does that feel true to me? No, I feel quite opposite with it. And I don't get on anybody else's fear train. I don't get on it. I don't buy into it. I sit with it as my truth. I don't give it any momentum. I just don't. And when you seriously think about certain things that we hear in the physical world, if you sat with it and just closed your eyes and sat with it, you would suddenly feel this almost hilarious nonsense. It'll almost make you chuckle, right? But fear is given a microphone that we buy into it. So, if it's not resonating with you, don't turn up the volume on it. It's that simple. And I say this to people as well. Eclipses and certain things in the world have been happening for like millions of years. So, don't feed the fear. And perhaps the fear is because you don't know much about it. That's the other thing. Do some reading. What is an eclipse? Do some reading. I'm just so careful on what I buy into and what train I'm getting on. Right. And I've often stopped that train. I've realized I'm sitting on a train that doesn't resonating with me. I'm gonna pull the bell and get off. I'm getting off this train. You're right. And it's okay to figure it out when you're already on the train. That's the other thing. You can get off any train that you want to at any stop that you want to. And I think that's really important. I'm gonna get off this train. It's not serving me. All right. Um, where are we here? Okay. Good to see so many of you, by the way. Definitely resonates. As a child, I've been shamed when I made mistakes and still carry this shame as an adult. Yeah, I think sometimes, and I'll say this very lovingly, I really think that sometimes we accidentally shame people. And because we want them to do better. We want success for them, and we do accidentally shame. Now there are situations where, some people are in toxic situations as a child, and it's not accidental. But I really feel that for the most part, we even do it with. I'll tell you a cute little story. I got called to talk to a puppy, who was about maybe 6 months old, and housebreaking was the issue. That's why I got called. No matter what they tried, they couldn't house train this puppy. They went to the vet. So no answers. There was nothing wrong with the pup. So I went over there and had a little talk with the pup. And the shame that was being given to this dog when it piddled in the house or had an accident in the house was really affecting this animal at a level that the dog couldn't get out of the vibration of being shamed. Okay. So the dog was showing me, 'cause animals communicate telepathically and visually with me. The animal was showing me what was happening. Were they abusing the dog? They weren't physically abusing the dog, but they were doing things that were very embarrassing, like putting their nose in it and yelling at it and upset with it energetically. And all this little pup needed was a little bit of understanding. The pup also didn't understand what door it needed to go to. There was some confusion. Should I go to the front door or the back door? They were taking the dog to both doors to take it out. So the pup was also confused where to go. So it was often going in the middle between both doors. It was here's a good spot. It's in the middle because I don't know what door to go to. Once I explained it to the owners, they were mortified. They were mortified. They were crying. They didn't mean to shame the dog. This is how they were taught to house train. It was, this is what they did with previous dogs, and other dogs never had an issue with it. But this little pup was sensitive. They were, and I worked through them with that, but they were mortified. They had no idea what they were doing was causing this pup harm. Once the pup understood that they were going to pick the back door, they made a decision. They were going to pick the back door, and they didn't shame the dog. That dog had one accident after I left, and that was it. Now I know it's a very different it's very different than humans, but think about it for a moment. When we don't know the direction that we're to go in, and when we're shamed, and when we rub our nose in it, we find it very difficult to get out of things, right? We find it very difficult. If we're shaming people or we've been shamed and we don't know where to go, we don't know where to release, we don't know where, I'll use it in an energetic form. We don't know how to heal or piddle our what we need to release, right? Energetically. We all know where the washroom is, but you know what I mean? And so, when we've had that experience, we've got to be able to talk ourselves back out of it with, I was learning that little puppy was learning that, and the owners of that dog were learning that. I'm also learning that, right? I'm learning how to work through some of this stuff. So you see how that healing process works with being able to, how we talk to ourselves, how we look at it, and figuring out what door we want to go out. Right? We got to figure out what door we want to go out. And step one is being able to say, I need to find an exit. I need to find a healing way. I need to find a way to heal, right? Or I need to find different support system, and that's okay too. Sometimes, people that we know the best may not always be able to give us the support that we need, right? And that's okay. That's part of the reason why we have this community, so we can come here and talk about the things that may be difficult to talk about with people that are around you and that you love, and that's okay too. All right, let's keep going. Melissa, I would love to know if you have any messages from my dad. Things really changed for me when he passed. I just want to tap in there, Melissa. Your dad's got a big energy. He's like a big presence when he steps in. I also feel, Melissa, did other relationships change? Like, for other relationships with you, change as well when dad passed, like other people? Because I feel like this involves more than just dad's passing. Is kind of how I felt there. I also feel. Now, remember, spirit always has a different perspective when they've passed, right? They see things very, very differently here in the physical world. But one thing that I feel like I've got to really acknowledge here is dad has always been the best that he could in helping you, and he still is. So I don't know if you've been struggling with not feeling him lately, or if there's been, I'm concerned at what he would think with these changes. He's very much supporting your learning, and he's very much cheering for you in the directions that you are going in. He also likes to lean. He kind of leans in a little bit with kind of like, so if you ever feel that something brush up against me, or there's something heavy on me, he likes to lean in to let you know that he's around as well. Um I also feel, and I'm not quite sure what the month of June is, but he's bringing me into something significant in the month of June, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. And he also puts me in November there, Melissa, for some validation there for you. Kayla, I have chills thinking about that. Who am I without my label? Chills is validation of truth, right? So when you experience something like that, it's validation of truth. So that's something that you need to kind of sit in. Aaron, happy birthday tomorrow. Celebrate you, Aaron. Um, I'm trying to go slow here so I don't miss. I'm trying to catch as many questions today. Bubbles, if I go deep, I am the universe, just like everyone else here. The same molecules that lived in us also lived in the stars. It's literally scientifically proven. Absolutely. 100%. Lan, I have a set of bells hanging from my front door. Who has been messing with them? Instantly, it's your spirit guides. I also feel a lot of fairy energy around you, as of very lately, very new. And I also feel it's increased. And I also feel like the vibration of play, and it needs to be turned up. I just need to really turn up play and laughter. And the bells are your spirit guides. And I don't know if you've been um wondering where the heck they are in helping you, but they want you to know that they are helping you and guiding you and supporting you as we go through life. And I know I've said this before, spirit can't, so spirit being our angels and guides, or our loved ones or ancestors, they can't change what we need to go through and learn. They can't say, oh, I'll help you skip that part. But they're supporting you. I also feel with this bell ringing, there's also like this new, like, almost like a restart. I'm starting something new. There's something new there's something that you've been doing is going to restart. And it feels very good. Hope that helps you there. You deserve to be a Christmas cup. You know why the Christmas cup? I don't think the dishwasher got turned on. So someone must have went to the back of the cupboard or that was the only cup that was available. It's all good. It's all good. I try to inspire everyone when I can. I love that, Wendy. Part of working on relationships with others is working on the relationship with yourself. Absolutely, and it's ongoing too. Let's just add that. We're always working on ourselves. Ouch, the carrying stuff. Yeah, Kayla. Oh my God, Lena. I think I read that one. Yeah, I read that one. Sorry, Kayla. Chills validation. I always get chills every time I directly address some beings I work with. Absolutely. And let's tap into that. Let's just talk about. I gotta watch the time a little bit. No, I don't. We're good. Let's tap in a little bit of that. Your own validation, whether it be your spidey senses or that tingling. I usually get it as across my forehead. I feel like my forehead's being pulled really tight. That's how I receive that validation of truth. But when we tap into that, and when we ask for it too, I'll often say, just ask for validation. I say it all the time. Spirit, show me. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to know. Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. With that does come lessons. It does come right away for me. Um, after our live on Monday, and I got, I was on my way to work, and I said to Spirit, show me what needs to go. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that you're right. I didn't even consider that. I love that spirit validates me. I just saw 1414. I searched up the meaning and it was exactly the same as I just said. I love that so much. Let's see where we go here. All right. Well, look at you guys sharing and I love when you share. I love when you share what your validation, like what you're experiencing in your validation. I love that so much. Well done, Monarch minus 347. I love that. Good for you guys and for sharing with people. I love the sharing. And when we share, it helps people in so many ways when we share. When people share something, it's like, okay, I'm not alone in this big universe that feels that way. Or I'm not okay, I'm not crazy because other people are seeing numbers, or other people, it does help when we share. It's a support system. It builds that space, right? A lot of repeating numbers. Yeah. A lot of repeating numbers. Um Only spirit spits all kinds of numbers at me constantly. Yeah, and sometimes for some people they don't get any numbers at all, right? I don't get a lot of numbers. I get messages in different ways. But I think that it's great that we share what we receive and what works for us, because it is all a big collective, right? It's all a big collective. Unfortunately, I have to go to work. Got busy. I'll listen later. Have a good day, Diane. I will be wrapping up soon too. I'd love to connect with a guide who wants to work with me. Okay, any insight? Yes. So I'm going to give it a bit of a short version note of it, but you can expand it to what works for you, Monarch Astrology. One thing, number one, all your spirit guides want to work with you. They are always around. The fact that you are open is the big door opener. I'd love to connect with a guide who wants to work with me. You're inviting them in because we do have choice and free will. You are inviting them in. So what I would start to do there is, and I've probably shared this before, is invite them to sit with you. Just start saying, you know what, I'm so open for help and guidance on this right now. If you can sit with me and help me out, take them everywhere with you, right? Allow yourself to just, and I'll say it this way, be playful with it. Use a little bit of your imagination. Just with that knowing, I'm going to open up the door to my vehicle and I know my spirit guides are coming with me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Channeling with them is another powerful way. Sit with a pen and paper and just allow yourself to write what you're feeling, what you're hearing, what you're knowing. Don't worry or try to dissect who's with you, where the information is coming from. Don't try not to go there. I trust it is what I do. I don't always know what guides around me, and I've got great relationships with many of them. But every now and again, I'll be like, "Oh, this feels different to me. Somebody different is with me." I thank them for coming. I'm open to their learning and what I need to learn, and I have learned to stop trying to figure out who and why, who's here and why, who's here and why. As if I trust they will give me that guidance and that knowing when I need to. I just trust that. And and I'll word it to you this way. Sandra, so let's say Sandra and I meet each other. Um I wouldn't say to Sandra, why are you coming into my life? I would just say it's nice to meet you, and I would get to know Sandra. Try that same analogy. I know that you're here. If you don't feel them, and sometimes we don't, trust that they're with you. Just start trusting. The more that you trust, because we've got to build that muscle too between the spirit dimensions. We've got to build that trusting relationship with our spirit guides. I'm just going to trust that you're here helping me. If I'm going through something very specific, this is what I do. So let's say I'm going through difficult relationship as an example. I'll simply say, okay, I don't know why I like to close my eyes, but if you don't, you don't. I'll simply close my eyes and I'll say, okay, if there's a specialist or somebody that that knows a lot about how to help me through difficult relationships, come be with me while I learn this. Come guide me through this. I will ask for if anybody has if anybody has a specialty in something that's difficult. Can you come with me? I'm open to any spirit guide that will help me navigate through this. And then I trust it. I trust everything that I get. We all work very different with spirit. Sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes we don't get anything. Sometimes it's repeat numbers. Sometimes we get the goosebumps. Sometimes we hear their names. And I think when we just allow that, and sometimes we have to learn the lesson. And this is just an example. Okay, Lana, this relationship needs to end, but I'm going to help you through it. I'm lean on me for support. They can't fix things, and that they can't fix the learning, and that's so important. If we are meant to break up, they can't mend it, right? They can help us through it, they can guide us, they can support us, but they can't change it. And that's the biggest thing. If we came down here to learn specific lessons, your spirit guides can't say, oh, never mind, you don't have to learn that. Right. And I chuckle because I've done that myself. I've literally sat with spirit all ticked off and said, like, what the heck? Why am I going through this? And it's very clear. There is big lessons in this, and on the other side is clarity, and we will walk you through it, but we can't take it away. There's a lesson there for you to learn. So I can either go kicking and screaming, right? And we do. How many of you have gone kicking and screaming through a lesson? Or I can go through it with the learning and the support and being okay to trip and fall. And that's it's so important. And it comes back down. We're coming full circle into that shame piece. Right? We get embarrassed when we trip and fall. We get embarrassed when we didn't learn it right. We get embarrassed when things don't go well. We get embarrassed when we have to start again. And I will acknowledge that embarrassment, but I am getting up and I am going to take my spirit guide with me and try again and learn it again. And I will talk to myself in 1,000 different ways. I am learning that. I am learning that. I am learning that. I will also acknowledge that I am doing my best, even when it's a gong show. I am doing my best to learn this right now, and it is hard. Right? Do we go through, let me word it this way. Have I stomped my feet? Yes. Have I looked up and said, why? Yes, but I don't stay in it. But yeah, and I think we all go kicking and screaming, right? All right. Let's do a few more here, and then I am gonna have to let you guys go. We're 47 minutes here. And I'm very grateful that I've had this time with you guys because Friday will probably be very quick. So, Bubble says, Spirit also throws songs at me all the time. Another way of getting messages through. Yep. Minor numbers and gut feelings. Beautiful. Wes, I see them on license plates. Love that. Yes, license plates are a glorious space for numbers to get messages to us. A lot of songs here. Wes, a little while ago, my friend parked his car next to a car that had the exact same license plate. Oh, wow. Only the number was one plus one from his plate and ends with 43. Oh, that's something, Wes. Look at y'all, you guys, with your validation, with your signs. I love that so much. It's cool to see how spirit chooses to communicate with each person. Yeah. And it's also how we work too, right? It's also, because we are a contributing factor. It's also how we work. Everybody learns differently, everybody sees differently, everybody, has different that resonates with them. I'm going to do that, Lana. I'm going to ask for a specialist. I do it all the time, Kayla. I do ask. It helps to open up that, right? It just helps for us to receive it. It helps us to navigate through it. Um, I'm glad that you like that. I'm still missing the kitties I was fostering, and I'm struggling asking their parents to update me on them. Does Spirit have any advice on how to move forward? Lindsay, I feel that I need to say this to you. It's okay to ask for an update. It's okay to ask for an update. I also feel when I lean in there, I do feel, Lindsay, that these kitties are doing very, very well. I also feel like I've got to just acknowledge how much you did for them. Um, in getting them to where they are. There's a lot of gratitude there, Lindsay. If I and I feel like I have to say it's okay to ask for an update. In it, I feel that if you prefer an email message or a text message way of communicating there, I feel like I've got to say that's okay to go that route. I do feel that they are very much okay. One of them feels like there's still a little bit of an adjustment, but I don't feel it heavy or difficult. Like I don't feel the adjustment causing them any grief. I feel a lot of gratitude and settling in. And I also feel, Lindsay, and I don't know why I need to say this to you, but these kitties are exactly where they need to be. They were meant to go back. Like they were meant to go. I really feel that was part of the experience for them, right from the beginning there. All right. Shaz, I'm going to be resitting my exams this year, hoping to get a better high grade. It seems impossible. How do you see them going this year? Let's have a little sip here. So, Shaz, I would like you to try your best um, to acknowledge the word impossible one last time, and then I want you to shift into a different vibration with that. I truly do believe that we are always on the right path, and the direction that you're going in is going to bring lessons, and it's going to bring in. And I see that you getting to the other side of all this. I feel like I've got to start acknowledging I am doing the best that I can. I am working hard. I need you to kind of work with the I ams a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of old, and it does feel old because I really want to go old programming into in with fear of not being good enough or not being a high enough achiever. And if and I get the importance of this exam. And all of it. I get the importance of it all. I feel the importance of it all, but I feel like I've got to pull in a better balance. I of balancing out the trust, balancing out the acknowledgement that you are smart enough, balancing out the thought that I'm on the right path here and this is my goal and I'm going to achieve it. Acknowledging that it's difficult, but sometimes we put in blocks. We put in blocks energetically. So if you look at the story, Shaz, that you're telling yourself with this, do you truly believe this is impossible? Are you on an impossible mission? Ask yourself that. Do you truly believe it? If you don't truly believe it, then you've got to shift a little bit with I am going to continue right now to working really hard on passing these exams or getting a higher grade. I've got to change the narrative. If you truly believe it's impossible, if you truly, yeah, this is completely impossible. If it's truly impossible, if you truly felt that, you wouldn't be working so hard to pass. Just saying. Just saying. Um, we support you, Shaz. We support you in your best efforts. We support you in your learning. We support you on your journey. Step a little bit up into supporting yourself. It comes back to how are you talking to yourself. I hope that helps you there. Okay, Rachel. Hi all lovely being here. It's lovely to have you. I've been looking into contacting spirit guides and have had my eyes open have had my eyes open to how much mine have been teach me. Everything is learning and experience. Absolutely. Everything is learning and experience. But I said that so beautiful, Rachel. It is all learning and experience, right? That's what we came here to do. We came here to learn. We came here to experience. We came here to help each other. We came here to grow. And sometimes it's bumpy. All right. Okay, Kayla, I knew I was psychic as a child because I would talk to my guides and say, let's skip this lesson. And I would pretend I didn't have to learn it. Kayla, I love that. I love that. We all are connected to source energy. every single one of you. Every single one of you. Right? Absolutely. Every single one of you. We came here connected. We all may work very differently. We all have had different experiences. We can lean in there whenever we want. Every single one of us. All right. Okay. How can I okay, so here's a good one. How can I practice to receive messages? Try a little bit of automatic writing there. So try allowing yourself, and it's sometimes it's about figuring out how you work, how you're going to receive. I find with the channeling, if I can just start on the top of your page, what do I need to know? What do I need to know? Start with yourself. What messages do I need to know today? And just allow yourself to write whatever it is that you're feeling, hearing, or knowing. We often get in there because our brain likes to get in there with, oh, you're making that up, or oh, this isn't real. Try and quiet that. Try and in one way, I'm going to put it to you this way. I'm going to try and word it so that it comes out right. In one way, you are making it up. But not in the way that you're thinking, not in the way that you're thinking, not where you went. You are the vessel of that. So it's coming through you. So when I ask spirit something, I'm asking, it's coming through me, it's coming into me, it's coming this way, however you're receiving it. Doesn't matter how you're receiving it. So you're part of it. So because you're part of it, you're not making it up as you're creating the story, but you are part of it. You are part of how you receive it. So you are in it a little bit. So just start with, I'm going to trust what I get. Whether it be one word, start with one word. What is one word I need to hear today? Right? Ask. And what do I hear? I'm enough. What do I hear? I am worthy. Always ask, because your awareness will pick up what you need. Right? You will receive it. It will come in as a transmission. You will receive it. I always say start off really simple. Really, really simple. Or what do I know? What do I know? I know today feels fun. I know today feels like I'm gonna have to push through. Okay. I know today I feel like I'm gonna have to push through. What can I do to help push? What can I do to support myself now with that information? I better ground myself. If I feel that way, I better ground myself. And start really small. Just start really basic and allow that to be enough. When you feel comfortable, then you can go deeper. All right. All right, here we go. I'm gonna grab a few more. You guys like the specialist. There's quite a few of you guys that like the specialist, eh? Asking for a specialist. Lindsay, I'm thankful for the message. I feel like it keeps getting overlooked when I ask about them, the cats, but I'm grateful to get an update on them through Spirit. I appreciate that so much. You are very welcome, darling. You are very welcome. Spirit guides, please come to Lana and let her know about my question, and I'm needing to know, please. All right, Wendy, so you've asked me something that I've missed. Okay, so I see, Wendy. If you want to retype it, is there anything else with other than does Spirit have any messages for me today? I'm gonna scroll up a little bit, but if you want to rewrite that, Wendy, for me, I'd be grateful and I'll answer that. I don't see anything else. Let's see what she's typed in. Wendy, if you can just type in for me your question. If it's you guys are having a good time laughing. I'm loving that. All right, so Wendy, I'm going to answer. From what I can see here on the chat, you would like to know if Spirit has any advice for you or support for you. Wendy, I have to take a big breath. I have to take a big breath, and I feel like I've got to say it's going to be okay. I feel like I've got to let you know that you're very, very supported. I also feel like I have to acknowledge there's something there, and I'm right in my throat chakra. There's something there that I need to acknowledge that it's going to be okay. Wendy, if you have a very specific question, I'll ask you to type it because I really feel like it's going to be okay. I feel like I've got to remind you that you're supported. I feel like I've got to get you to speak it. I feel like I've got to get you to even, and here's how I hear it, Wendy. When you speak it, it's the self-acknowledgement that I have to get you to pick up. Wendy, about my dog. Spirit does have messages for my health since I was 20 until today. Will it get better? Wendy, you're supported. You're supported. The when is really hard to narrow in on. The when the when and timelines are really, really hard. My dog, spirit guides have messages from my health. You are supported, but I feel like you're not speaking something, Wendy. What is it that you're not speaking? Because I keep going back into my throat chakra here. I feel I'm just trying to tap into will it get better? I do feel like it's going to get better. The dog, I have a little bit of a journey there, and I have a little bit of an uncertainty there with the dog. I do feel a little bit uncertain, and I'm just having a listen. Wendy, I can't stop with the throat. Um, do you have trouble speaking your truth? Or are you not being heard? Go to your medical stuff for a minute. Is there a reference to not being heard? I'm very much in the throat chakra, and I can't move out of it. So there's got to be something there that either, and you don't have to put it in the chat if you don't want to. That's perfectly okay. But I feel like either you're not being heard. I believe. Okay. Wendy, with this question, I feel like I've got to let you know that you are supported and I do feel like there's being a push through here. I've got to kind of like push you through with all this. I do feel like you're going to get to the other side. I truly do feel you're going to get to the other side. With the dog, I just feel a little bit uncertain there. But yet I feel supported. It's a very interesting blend of energy with that, Wendy. I hope that helps. The when I'm not sure about. It's hard to narrow down a when. I feel like I've got to come back to right now. I'm working through this. Right now. This is where I'm going. Right now, I'm being supported. Seems like he goes over things fast and doesn't listen to. Oh, here it isn't listen to me at my appointments. Okay, Wendy, I'm going to suggest something to you. Pick it up if it resonates, or leave it if it doesn't. Have you considered or have you brought anybody with you to your appointments that can try slowing things down? Sometimes when we bring somebody with us to help sort through some of it, because we're so in it. So when somebody's speaking at us and we're so in it, we often my mother comes with me. Does she try and slow things down? Wendy, I'm not sure where you're from, but sometimes there can be depending on where you're from, there can be like a healthcare advocate that can like ask medical questions or that can slow things down. See if that service is available wherever you're located. I just Yes, a bit. I'm from India. Okay. So Wendy, I don't know, Wendy, your healthcare over there. But see if there is somebody else that can come with you, or if there's another healthcare worker, or that you know, or if you don't know a healthcare worker, see if there is a service that you can bring like an advocate to help you understand or to help slow down the meeting. Um, I can't shift, Wendy, that this is going to improve for you. I can't move out of that. I cannot shift it. So I have to trust that. I truly have to trust that. All right, we are 1 hour and 3 minutes. Wow, this has been a good chit chat this morning. I'm always so grateful when I can spend this much time with you guys. Let us see what we need to know from the angelics. 800. Give any financial fears to Spirit, who is ensuring that all of your earthly needs are met. You are supported in all ways. Let's do another one. I'm feeling I need to do another one. Your new positive outlook with respect to your home and work life is changing everything for the better. I love that. Set our intentions up. The seal. I love seals. Okay. Your creative imagination is active and fertile right now. So keep a journal nearby and write in it every day. Your dreams will be very clear and vivid. So pay close attention to them for any messages from your subconscious. The cycle of challenges and hardship is complete. I'll take it. And you're moving into a time of plenty and abundance. Although it's an emotional time for you, there's the emotional time. This is twice this week. Although it is an emotional time for you, you're quite comfortable experiencing these feelings while at the same time staying grounded. This is a time to stay attuned to your natural rhythms, such as sleeping when you're tired, eating only when you're hungry, and exercising when you feel the urge to do so. This is a time to let yourself experience joy and be joyful. Listening to all that's around you is important, especially to your feelings and others. Take the time to stretch or do yoga in order to keep your body flexible. So here we are again with some validation from what I channeled, what spirit gave me about all these emotions and listening. Right here we are. I love that so much, so much. Um, emotions are a big thing, right? How we're feeling is a big thing. Indiana. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Wendy. Indiana. Okay, I don't know much about Indiana about the healthcare in Indiana either. But my apologies for misreading that. So did Aaron. Aaron read India too. Um, Aaron or Wendy, if you're open to it, and you can just type a little yes. I do a healing circle with on my own. I have a bunch of names in a circle that of people that are requesting some healing energy. If you would like me to put you in my healing circle bowl, I am happy to write down your name. And if anybody else that wants to go into the healing circle, you're welcome to put your names down. I'll wait another minute. And at any time, if you want to come out of the healing circle, you just send me a message that you want to come out of it. But what I do is I just call in healing energy and support. And I do this every day for people. Okay. I'll give you guys a minute to type in there, and you can ask me anytime. It doesn't have to just be for today. And then what I'll do is I will, after the live, when I hit end stream, I'll go back and jot down the names. Good stuff. Okay. Friday will be a quick check-in. I have clients and I am teaching Friday, so it will be a quick check-in, but I'm really grateful that I had extra time with you guys today. It always just fills me with so much love and joy when I can hang out. Okay. Good. Will we notice improvement after your healing? Um, so many people that are in my healing circle message me, and I don't share when I'm doing it. I just do it. But so many people message me that they have received healing energy. One thing that I will mention while we're giving everybody a chance to put their name down if they want in is being open to receive it. So just make sure that you're open to receive it, right? And if you're asking, most people are open to receive. I mean, if you're closed, you're not going to say, "Hey, put my name in a circle," but just make sure that you're open to receive it. And the healing energy, can be very much physical or emotional, but it can also open up doors or help with support that you need. But people write me all the time about even if it's just strength. Ilana, you've been working on me because I feel so much stronger in navigating through this difficult part of my journey. Right? Okay. Look at you guys. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's been a wonderful way to go through the Wednesday morning. Um, as always, I am wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. You guys take care. Bye bye.